Hello, Vinyl Chef Steve here. Today we're going to duplicate America's top selling refried beans in a can. Yes, they are from Rosarita, and they are the hot and spicy refried beans in a can. Can you believe that? Anyways, we're going to do our own version of hot and spicy refried beans. Ours are also going to come from a can. However, they're going to come from a can of Sun Vista pinto beans. And this is a 40-ounce can that you'll need for this recipe here. One 40-ounce can and a quarter cup of bacon grease. Yes, bacon grease. If you don't have any handy, go out and buy some bacon. Fry up enough bacon to get yourself a quarter cup of bacon grease. You'll thank me later, not only because you'll get to eat the bacon, but your beans will taste amazing. 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, depending on how much garlic you like. 4 to 5 fresh chilies, serranos, or jalapenos, however hot you like it, or mild. And 1 brown onion that we're going to only use half of. Okay, so I'll show you how to prep these ingredients and get everything into the pan and refried and beautiful and yummy. And it will only take about maybe a total of about 50 minutes. All right? The best 50 minutes you ever spent in your lifetime. Here we go. So we're going to chop our brown onion in half here, remove the outer skin, and score the onion. And then we're going to finely dice this half of an onion here. And then we'll run our knife through it to dice it even finer and more evenly. And then we'll move on to our chilies, which I happen to have a fresh serrano chili plant in my backyard. So I'm going to grab 4 to 5 chilies. And I'm going to let this glove speak for itself. For anyone who's ever been burned, you know why I'm wearing this. We're going to go ahead and remove the seeds from the chili here with this little spoon. We're going to sliver and then finely dice these chilies into little tiny bits. I'm doing 4 chilies here. And then I'm going to do 2 cloves of garlic for my beans. I'm going to chop it up and then finally mince it, which is basically a form of just smashing the garlic into almost a paste-like consistency, which releases all the oils and extracts all the wonderful flavor. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of additional bacon grease and render that down and add our chopped onion. We're going to saute our onions for about 7 minutes, stirring them occasionally and maybe 2 to 3 times throughout, letting them brown nicely. And then we'll add our diced serrano chilies and continue to saute the chilies and the onions for another 5 minutes, at which time we'll add our quarter cup of bacon grease. Notice there's no salt so far in this recipe. We'll save that for the end, if it even needs it. Then we'll add our garlic once the bacon fat is reduced and stir the garlic in for only about 30 seconds. And then shake your can of beans prior to putting it in the pan to get all the juice and flavor from the bottom mixed in. Incorporate that, get everything mixed together, and then on high heat, bring the beans to a rolling boil for about 5 minutes. Then reduce the heat to a medium flame and allow the beans to boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. Come back and stir the beans again. You'll notice every time that you return that the beans will have changed. The consistency of the liquid will have thickened and reduced away. And then stir the beans nicely and then let it come back to simmering boil again and continue to reduce. So you're going to come back and every 5 to 10 minutes and stir the beans just to loosen them up and then allow it to reduce again. This process takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And what's happening here is the juices are thickening and the flavors are concentrating. The beans are getting more and more tender. They're releasing starch into the juice, which is thickening the juice, and will give you the most beautiful creamy texture of refried beans that you can ever imagine. Certainly one that you're not going to get out of a can. So we're just going to continue to reduce these here until we extract a little more of the liquid. I like my beans kind of in the middle of really runny refried beans and super dry refried beans. I don't know what comes out of the can of Rosarita refried beans, but it's like a brick of something. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. So this is going to take that experience to a whole new level for you. So as you can see here, the beans are continuing to reduce, and the liquid is reducing and reducing and getting thicker and thicker, and we're almost at the mashing stage. So to do this with any other type of bean, de la olla beans, that, gosh, you got to wash them, you have to soak them overnight. It's like an 8 to 12 hour process. This is 30 to 45 minutes, and you've got beans that even your grandmother probably couldn't tell the difference. So we're almost to the stage where I like to mash, and I think it's been about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes maybe here for me. All right. And about the salt, again, at the end, after you've mashed the beans, you can go ahead and taste for yourself and see if you need salt. But the bacon grease is pretty salty, and it oftentimes adds enough flavor. So if we're going to mash them up, I like a really fine mash like this where it's creamy and smooth, and you can do it any way you like. And then plate up your beans. Make it look fancy. You can serve these beans with tacos. You can serve them with enchiladas. You can make burritos out of these that are to die for. Or you can just put them in a bowl like this with some cheese on top and grab a big bag of tortilla chips and have at it. So I really appreciate you watching. I hope this recipe works out for you, and let me know in the comments how it turns out. Feel free to ask me any questions. But thanks again for joining me on Vinyl Chef Steve. We'll see you next time.